The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour represent Ryan Hoppe and Fastett. Listener discretion is advised.
Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
He's the voice of a generation that got screwed by the baby boomers. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour starts in 4, 3, 2, Hoppe. Hoppe, Hoppe. This is Hoppe Hour with Hoppe and Allessia.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Is this thing on? Oh my God.
Are we recording?
So I began talking about something and then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't recording. At least I noticed 30 seconds in and not,
50 minutes.
Yeah. So
you made a list. Let's go back.
All right. Take two.
So
I've been working on being more organized lately. And let's compare me being more organized to running a marathon and then tripping at the finish line on a 6th task, but somehow winning the marathon. So what happened was I had all these things I needed to do in the last week, did them. Last thing was tax return. So I had to hit up my old radio job, hit up my old boss, blah, blah, blah. So I get the login to ADP. I get my W-2. Everything's good. I schedule an appointment for H&R Block. And I go to H&R Block today. And it was a complete, do you know what the Mandela effect is? Where like people throughout the years have thought things that aren't.
Like the butterfly effect.
I had that.
Okay.
I walk in, I go, hey, I'm here for my 10 a.m. appointment. And immediately when I walked in, I could tell it's always like a boomer old woman. She was nice. Her name was Myra. She was excellent. She got it done in 20 minutes. But she comes to the front because it makes the noise. The door goes doo-doo-doo, and then they know a person's there. And she goes, can I help you? And immediately I'm like, I'm here for the 10 a.m. appointment. She's like, okay, sit down for a second. And she comes back 2 minutes later. She's like, I don't see an appointment. And I was like, oh, yeah, I put it for 10 a.m., And then she was like, I don't see it, but just wait 10 minutes. I'll get done with this person, and then I'll help you out. And I go, okay, cool. So I go on my iPhone, and I go through my old messages, which I don't know why I would delete a message about a tax appointment.
I did the same thing the other day.
So I go to undelete it. First, I have to go through all these 5-digit numbers because every time I log into my email through iHeartMedia to prevent hacking, you have to do like the verification code every time, which is fine. But then I'm having to go through all these different like 5-digit numbers trying to figure out which one's the tax number. So I'm sitting in the waiting area, and then I finally find it. I recover the text, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, the whole recover the text thing is going to ruin relationships. They're going to be like, let me see the deleted text messages.
I didn't even know we could do that until you just said that.
I'll show you afterwards.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. So I go to undelete the tax return. It's not at that location.
Oh.
And it was at 7 a.m.
Oh, my gosh.
Not even a time I would be up. The only reason I would ever be up at 7 a.m. is because I'm producing Pat and Aaron on 95.3 WDAE, but I'm not. Before I worked morning radio, when I did Beckles and Retcher, and then when I worked at the other radio company, unless I was working for the morning show at the other radio company, I was never up at that time. So I don't know how I selected 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So to me, that recognized that I needed to smell the roses more and relax, because I don't. First of all, it was not even at the exact location. It was at 4th Pavilion, which I've never been to. And then the 7 a.m. thing, not even 10 a.m. If it was 10 a.m. there, you go, okay, you clicked on the wrong location.
Right.
But when you mark it as 7 a.m., I was like, all right, I need to relax.
How many of us have done this? I do this I literally did this the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I had a confirmation, and normally I screenshot every like text confirmation that comes in from like an appointment. And for some reason, this one I'm like, it's fine. I'm just gonna delete it. I deleted it, and then of course I show up to the place, and they're like, "Did you get the text confirmation?" And I'm like, "Why? Why would I have deleted this?" But now I know how to. I can potentially retrieve the text message, and you'll show me after the show.
The best part is then the H&R Block that I didn't go to this morning is calling me while I'm in the waiting room of the other H&R Block, and I'm like,
they're like, "Where are you at?"
Yeah, and I felt bad because I began to think like, what if, let's say her name is Gertrude because she's another older woman. I'm like, what if Gertrude like didn't want to get up early in the morning but saw the appointment because it's 7. So then I'm hoping that she was an early riser. So that happened.
Everything happens for a reason. You ended up at the one you ended up at.
No, I know that, but
everything got done in 20 minutes.
Unbelievable, though. I was like,
wait, so we can file our taxes right now?
Get it done, because then you'll get your tax return within 21 days if you are getting a return.
Ooh, I need that like ASAP.
Yeah, that was why I went in. When I saw file your taxes on TikTok, and it was like beginning tomorrow, like 4 days ago, I was like, okay, I'm doing that now. Because they said it can come even sooner, and I think so few Americans are doing it that I expect to have it in 8 days. Like, I think it's going to be that quick, because I don't think...
Darn, I just realized last year I was working in Spain, so I probably won't get to claim anything.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Also, I'm never going to do my own taxes.
I always do hnrblock.com. Like, I've never gone in person, but it's so easy. The last however many years I've done it, I've always gone online, and they save your information. It's super quick and easy. And this is not sponsored.
No. I just go to H&R Block. I go to the wrong ones, the wrong time, and I go, here's my paperwork. Fill it out. I'm done in 20 minutes. Only thing that's annoying is you don't get the full return because they have to keep some of it, but I don't care.
Yeah. Normally, though, I get like a child tax credit, and I am going to miss out on that because I worked in Spain last year, so I probably can't even file taxes. Or maybe I can. I'll have to look.
I would suggest you call H&R Block or somebody who's an expert on that and not just assume with the IRS.
Always ask the pros.
I would double and triple check because you don't want to have anything come in the mail from the IRS.
Is the IRS listening to this right now?
The IRS is just such a negative vibe. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but...
What does IRS stand for? Who knows?
Isn't it Internal Revenue?
Yeah.
Something like that? I don't.
I just said yeah like I knew, but I didn't. That makes sense, though. Internal Revenue something.
To me, if you work at the IRS, you're just the most boring person ever, or you're cool with making money and just sitting behind a cubicle the rest of your life. It just seems like a soulless job. Like, I'm sure they have Employee Appreciation Day where they bring Hungry Howie's Pizza.
Hungry Howie's Pizza. I'll pass. I'm more of a Joey Brooklyn's girl. Have you had Top Slice downtown? We need to go.
No, but I know I like to call him Joey. I don't know what.
Yeah, his name's not Joey, though.
The guy at Joey Brooklyn.
I'm pretty sure it's Andy, but he hooks up the pizza all the time.
He does that for me, too, because when I worked at my old radio company, we used to have a lot of gigs. I said company like it was my company. At my old radio job, we had a lot of promotion gigs at Janice Live, so we would get pizza and we would order it from there, and then he also listened to the old morning show I worked with. So, like, he'll give me a deal. I'll go there. I don't really get as drunk as I used to.
Right.
But, like, I was on, like, 3 Jack and Cokes. And I was with my friend in downtown St. Pete.
So that was mild Ryan.
Like 3 weeks ago. And I walked in and he goes, "Sup, Hoppy?" And he goes, "How about all of this for $15?" And it was like a great deal. And I was like,
he's the best. When I used to go there back in the day when I would party and I lived downtown, I would just walk in, I would skip the line. Everyone that was waiting in line would be so mad, and he would just hand me a free box of pizza and I would leave.
You know what's the best part about that?
Shout out.
The bathroom.
Oh, okay. What's up with the bathroom?
Think about it. So for people that are
you pretend you're using the bathroom?
No. Let me explain. So for people that are listening that don't even know what Joey Brooklyn's is, it's a It's the best pizza in St. Pete, but it's in downtown St. Pete. So they've renovated it, and I don't even know. It's a country bar next door now, which, it used to be like a hip-hop / EDM club. I think it was, I forget the name of it, but it's the downtown St. Pete area, and it's like set up in a square. It's like 4 different roads.
It's next to Janice Live.
It's right next to Janice Live, which is a concert hall, and it has a bunch of bars. And now they're like changing it, and the bar next to the other bar is going to become like a disco bar and all
Back to Janice. Back to Joey. Tell me what's happening with the bathroom.
I'm just describing.
Oh.
So all these bars, there's a point to this. All these bars have bouncers, and the bars are busy. So when you would go to the bathroom, there would be the longest line to take a piss at the club. Mm-hmm. And even one of my friends had an arrest because he was too drunk to go into one of the clubs. And he walked in, and he's a very muscular man, and he broke the porta potty because they were trying to pull him, and he was holding onto it. Oh. And then he had to like tell his wife. This was like 7 years ago. It was very awkward. When you walk into Joey Brooklyn's, you order the pizza, and nobody is thinking there's a bathroom there. So if you've drank like 5 to 6 beers,
yeah,
because you got to think when I've gone to downtown St. Pete over the years in my early 20s of drinking a lot, I go through liquid very fast. So if I'm chugging beers and I'm getting drinks bought for me because I'm being recognized for working on a show, all of a sudden I think all that's adding up. And
you're like a girl, like you're getting free drinks and living the dream. And so is your point, wrap this up, Ryan, is your point that you can go to the Joey Brooklyn's bathroom? Because this is a very...
Don't you ever insult the Joey Brooklyn's bathroom. It is the most underrated thing in downtown St. Pete.
Okay. So
because you order a slice of pizza and you can go to the bathroom. We should
reach out to him and see if he wants to sponsor our show with pizza. Because we could have a slice of pizza every time we have this show, and that could be our payment.
Pizza is the best food when you're drunk.
I mean, pizza in general. If you, again, I love this question. Dying food, last food on earth, you're about to die. What's your meal?
Medium rare porterhouse and mashed potatoes.
I was thinking I would do potatoes au gratin, like cheesy, like scalloped potatoes.
Gross.
But like but the steak has to be worth it. Because I hate when you go, I recently was at this restaurant. The steak was like $60 for the cut. And it honestly wasn't that great.
I'm talking about going to like Meat Market or Fleming's or any of those
Grill
fancy
is great
places
too. Yeah, I love Fleming's.
Because if I'm having a last meal, I'm not asking for,
I would be fine with pizza too. Or if my grandmother, if she's still around, I'd probably do one of her meals to like eat it for the last time. Like she makes a great Italian cannelloni from scratch, which is like almost like a stuffed shell. It has ricotta cheese and like spinach on the inside with like homemade tomato sauce on top. Anyways, it's delicious.
So I don't know how tell me what this relationship is called. So I'm related to my aunt. My aunt is my dad's sibling.
Yeah.
Her husband being my uncle.
Right.
His mom and dad are from Italy.
Yes.
And they made the best like appetizer homemade pizza ever. And she's alive right now. She's a saint, but she never ever gives out her recipe. So there's something within each family from Italy where they have a recipe. Because I feel like other cultures kind of recycle the same recipe, but I feel like when you're from Italy, you have your own setup.
That's it. And the way my grandmother on my dad's side makes pizza is different from the way my mother's father, my nonno, made pizza. And it's sad because like my grandfather passed away like 9 years ago now. Actually, February 4th will be his anniversary of his death. Sorry, that was a little morbid. But anyways, back to pizza. He made the most amazing pizza. And what's sad is like, yes, he has showed us, but once that person passes, it never quite tastes the same. And it's so sad that I'm like, I'm never going to taste that pizza. Oh, it's just like
I had the same thing happen. My second cousin worked at a place called, I don't want to say the name of it unless people are listening in Illinois, and I don't want them to tell the place. There was a place right by my house growing up that made thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
And my cousin died like 3 years ago. I forget what he died of. He was pretty young. He was like 62 and he died. And he was the one that made that pizza since 1989.
Damn.
And everybody had the recipe, but it's like it's like B plus. It was like A plus when he did it, and it's not because I'm living in the past. There's something with the cheese where it's not as like I don't know. It's not different.
The same. I'm going to quote Kim Kardashian here.
Why?
She says, "You can steal the recipe and make the sauce, but it won't quite taste the same." I'm paraphrasing here, but that's how it is. You can have the recipe, you can make the sauce, but it won't quite taste the same. But I love a good pizza.
That's your favorite quote by Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, actually, that would be my favorite one. It makes sense.
Mine is, oh, God.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Happy Hour will be right back.
Do you get what I did there?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you watch it? Have you ever seen it?
Nope, but I knew what you were talking about because you are Ryan Hoppe, so your mind goes there.
Yeah, it does. You know who else thinks about it? Men at all times. And you know who this segment's being sponsored by? Rich Keeley. I'm going there on Thursday. The hair is starting to get a little long.
I love it.
Ugh, I need to cut it. But then again,
you don't want to do the soccer swoop again?
What I need to do with my hair, when I go there, I want him to cut it differently because I don't want to have the same army haircut. Because everybody liked my haircut that I had 6-7 weeks ago.
Yeah, I loved it.
But I don't want to keep doing that forever because I had the same hair before. And that's the good part about going to Rich Keeley is that he is going to be able to help me manifest haircut. It's not like
100%.
It's not like going to Great Clips.
You know what I think your hair could use?
What?
It's the texture of your hair. So we need like a good like manly hair paste or what do they call that stuff? Clay? No. It's like a man.
I have some in my backpack
It's not
right now.
a gel. It's like, is that it? Okay, what do we got? What's it called? Is it a styling cream? Yeah, like I feel like just some texture in there would just like be night and day.
Well, I brought this because when we take a picture after the show to promote that we're recording, by the way, I forgot to mention, live from Allessia's house, we are hanging out doing Hoppe Hour.
Yeah. We're in my crib today. You know the one thing about being at my house that's hard when recording a podcast?
What?
My OCD kicks in.
Why?
And because this is just how my brain and body operates. So I start looking around at all of the things that I could be fixing. And it's like so minute. Like for instance, you see that paper towel roll over there?
Yeah.
Okay, like I have the urge to go over and just like turn it so that the extra paper towel isn't like hanging loose. And so like it's hard to focus.
Gee, I'm glad you're all in on the show.
Yeah, it's hard to focus because there's so many things. This is why it's hard to work from home. It's a blessing to work from home, but then I start looking around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have laundry. I have this, I have that.
Why would it not be a blessing to work from home? You don't have to make small talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you have to make small talk on Zoom.
I vacuum like 15 times a day.
I do it about 15 times a year. I need to work on that more. Anyway.
We'll get you a cordless vacuum. It'll be easy.
Sounds like a plan. RichKBarber.com.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Call Hoppe now. 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at him at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Or chat him live via the Hoppe Radio app.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Well, it was good while it lasted.
Didn't mean to press that. 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-494-6773. Actually, before I had you on the show, I wanted to fill time, so I used to have clips from cartoons as my like rejoiners on top of the rejoiners. So for the longest time, I used to come back with this.
Well, it was good while it lasted, I guess.
But Sheriff, the glory hole is the pride and joy of Dougal County.
Fella found an even older glory hole 2 towns over. Lord knows I ain't looking forward to telling the tourism board about this.
Such an elegant concept. A simple lowly hole to commemorate his glory.
And then somebody sent me a message about 3 weeks ago saying, you suck at radio because once you added your co-host, then you were able to multiply your, listens. I don't think that was the case. I think it was, I was spending 30 seconds playing the same clip in every show.
And it's like a match made in heaven. You have to find the right one, kind of like a marriage, right?
Like a $9,000 prostitute, please.
Yeah, I used to play. I mean, it was funny when I was 25, but
Keep
now
it
looking
classy.
back on it. Yeah.
Keep it classy. We're upgrading ourselves right now.
I'm working on being classy, but sometimes I just don't want to be classy.
No.
But then when you're not classy, then you're on bad vibrations. There is such things as
truth.
being overly classy, though. Like, ooh, look at me. Like, you don't have to look presentable every day. You just have to look good. You know what I mean? Somebody that always looks good is hiding something.
I feel that you dress for how you want to feel. And it's been hard for me because I don't know how everyone else is doing out there, but I have lost some weight this last year. None of my clothes fit me. And I also have my whole wardrobe right now. My whole closet is full of like winter clothes, which are eventually going to wean out. And I'm going to have to start filling it with like some spring warm weather Florida clothes. But yeah, it's hard because I want to dress my best, but all my clothes are big on me, but I don't want to go shopping right now because mama has to save money for the kids.
Over the last year, have you quit drinking less and less?
I am not a big drinker.
Were you in the last year when you were a little heavier? Because I quit drinking in August.
Yeah.
And I've lost 20 pounds because I don't drink beer anymore.
I actually started losing weight. Please listen if you are a woman in particular, because this changed my life. But I started losing weight because I went to go see a functional medicine doctor in Tampa. Her name is Dr. Kathleen. She is insane. She's amazing. Like, I've never had a doctor sit down and give me so much of their time before, but she found out that my hormones are completely off. So she put me on natural supplements to get my hormone levels back to normal where they should be. And since my body has been functioning better with those, I have literally just dropped, I think like 30 pounds in like 2 months, like a lot of weight that I was like stuck with for a while.
It creeps me out when you lose that much weight because I've lost that. And then I'm like, it's almost like I'm trying to self-sabotage myself because you begin with the goal that you want to lose weight. And then when you do it, you're like, well, what's the next goal?
And I will say I didn't like work out any different. I didn't change my diet necessarily. It really was just like getting my body to function where it should be. Now, I will just throw this out there, but I won't go into too much depth about this.
Yeah.
But I knew something was off with my body for a while, and I would go see doctors and they would run blood tests, and this could be you guys. They come back, the blood test comes back, and the doctor says, everything's normal, you're fine. Well, just so you guys are aware, there is more extensive blood work that a doctor could do. So Dr. Kathleen does more extensive blood work looking at numbers that traditional blood work doesn't look at. And that's how she was able to find these inconsistencies in my body. So that was a mouthful, but that's what has been going on with me.
Dudes, just don't drink as much beer. If you want to get drunk, just drink Jack and Coke. Because it really adds up. 8 beers, man, you got about 900 calories.
And you think too, like not just drinking, but like last year living in Spain, I didn't have a car. I walked everywhere. So I thought a year of walking, I would lose some weight. And because my body was not functioning where it should have been with my hormones, I didn't budge a half a pound, Ryan.
Oh, wow.
So if you are having trouble losing weight, definitely go see Dr. Kathleen in Tampa.
All right, what do we got in the news? I sent you a bunch of clips. I sent you so much. I was sitting in the waiting room of the H&R Block I was not supposed to be at sending you this.
Yeah, so the one I want to start with is Ginger Duggar. Do you guys remember the Duggar family?
How could you forget?
19, 20, 21 kids and counting. I don't remember what number we left off at, but Ginger Duggar is now an adult, and she's speaking out about the cult-like religion that she thought she would be killed if banned music accidentally came on the radio. So Ryan, did you have something?
I feel like there's this attitude where we think cults are only like the one from the 90s where they all killed themselves. Mm-hmm. People don't want to say it because they want to believe in Jesus and God, but sometimes religious people like them, it's a cult.
100%. So this is coming, I am speaking from somebody as a Christian. I am obviously not a pastor, but this is my own opinion that there are extremists in every situation. So the Duggards believed, the family raised their children to believe that certain television shows and music should be monitored because it was produced by the devil. It was not good for their children to listen to. I, as a parent and a Christian, would say, I agree. There are certain shows and music I don't want my child to listen to. All being Christian aside, just as a parent, there's certain things that I'm like, that's not appropriate for my kid. They took it to a level based on their religious beliefs that was, Ginger reveals, Ginger Duggar says that she was not allowed to listen to rock music, and she was so terrified that if rock music accidentally came on the radio, she was led to believe that God would actually kill her. So she is framing her parents now as being in a cult. She said she was raised with trauma and incredible fear.
Yeah.
Almost like a cult. I could see parents taking it to that extreme. You know, they probably thought they were protecting their child based on their extreme beliefs. They don't believe their beliefs are extreme, but now that Ginger is older and able to make those decisions for herself, she is, her opinion is that it was extreme and it was cult-like.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.